guys, it's me Sandy, that vegan chick. So today I'm going to be putting a vegan spin on one of my all-time favorite dishes, and that is lasagna. Now I've never actually made vegan lasagna before. I don't even know if I was that good at making regular lasagna before. So it's going to be all new to me and to you. So let's give it a shot, shall we? I'm going to show you the ingredients that we're going to need for this recipe. First thing we're going to need, obviously, is some lasagna noodles. Now, I have already boiled these and rinsed them off, and they're just waiting to go. I've also got 2 jars of marinara sauce. Now, yes, I know I could have made my own marinara sauce, but this is going to be a big recipe, so I just didn't feel like it. So anything that you like to use, go right ahead. For the filling, I'm going to be using beefless crumbles. Now, those of you that don't know what these are, they are a meat beefless substitute that you can get at your grocery store and health food store. So I'm going to be using that for part of the filling. Some portobello mushrooms, which you know I love, and some garlic. Also, to layer it, I've made this white sauce. Now, how I made this was I used some vegan butter, some flour, nutritional yeast, and like some garlic salt and onion powder and stuff like that. And it just makes a nice kind of cheesy like white sauce. Now on to the vegan ricotta. So for the vegan ricotta cheese, I'm going to be using 1.5 blocks of tofu, some fresh basil, some salt, some soaked cashews. Now I've soaked those cashews for about 2 hours, and it's 1/2 cup of cashews, raw cashews, and then nutritional yeast and some olive oil. So this is going to be new to me, and I'm going to try to attempt to make this cheese right now. Okay, so you know I'm always slightly terrified every time I try to make anything in this food processor, but I'm assuming this is going to be the best way to get the ricotta cheese consistency for this delicious lasagna. So what I've done is I've chopped up a 1.5 bricks of the tofu. Now I drained it, but I didn't entirely squeeze all the moisture out because I wanted to keep a little bit in. So we're just going to go ahead and add that. And for all you tofu naysayers, telling you this is going to be good. I always find this is really good when I'm trying to do anything with a cheese substance. It usually works out pretty good. Okay, now I've never tried the cashew thing before, so like I said, I soaked 1/2 cup of raw cashews and for 2 hours, and I'm going to add those in. I don't know if you have to soak them for 2 hours, but I thought 2 hours sounded good. I'm going to put 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast in, and then 1/4 cup of fresh chopped basil. That smells so good. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then a pinch of salt, or a dash. There we go. Okay, so let's put the lid on this, and we're going to pulse it and get it into a nice mixture. Okay, where's the pulse thing? Okay, so I just wanted to show you what the cheese mixture looked like. Okay, I'm just going to touch it with my hands, sorry. But it does seem like a ricotta cheese like consistency. So now we're going to get on to the rest of the fillings for the lasagna. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've got the beefless beef crumbles cooking here, and I'm just browning them up a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to add the 2 cloves of garlic. This is optional, but I mean, I like my garlic. So we just want to give it a little extra spice and stir that in. And then over here, I've got the mushrooms just frying up. That's going to be another layer. Now, I went ahead with the portobello mushroom because I find it's a nice hearty mushroom. You can go and use any other type of mushroom that you like, or you can mix, you know, a different variety of mushrooms. But I just thought that the portobello would be portobello for this recipe. Yay! Okay, so now we are going to layer our ingredients. Okay, back again, just slightly chaotic here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the marinara sauce, and I'm just going to layer the bottom of my pan with this. So we'll just get one nice even layer of the marinara sauce. And then we are going to put some of our noodles down. So just make sure you get them nice and even. And I've rinsed them with cold water just to make sure that they don't stick. I think I'm gonna go with 4 noodles across the bottom. And then I'm gonna try this tofu ricotta cheese. Oh, you know what I should do is, I was gonna say I should put it, I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing here. I should put it with a spatula maybe, but I think, okay, for the second layer I'll do that. I'm just going to use this spoon because I forgot a spatula. And we're just gonna spread that out over top of the noodles. I'll show you what I'm doing here. So far it looks pretty good. And I gotta tell you that the fresh basil really makes it smell good. If nothing else, this dish smells good. So if it smells good, it's probably gonna taste good. That's my theory on this. Okay, yeah, because like I said, I've never actually tried to attempt to make my own tofu ricotta cheese. So that's a new one for me. And also the white sauce, that's a new one for me too. Now, I never usually did that with my normal lasagna, but a good friend of mine always did, and her lasagna was delicious. So I thought, you know what, let's try a vegan version of it and see how it goes. So I think it's gonna be good. Okay, this is a bit messy. Yes, it's not like fancy cooking show here, but when you see it, you're gonna go, ah! But I mean, it's gonna taste good, right? Who cares what it looks like? So then I'm going to put some of this basic white sauce on there. Just give this a little stir. And I'm just gonna drizzle some over top. And I think what this is gonna do is it's gonna make it nice and creamy, and it's also gonna give it a bit of a cheesy taste because it's got the nutritional yeast in there as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to let's put some more marinara on, shall we? Just kind of winging this, people. Just kind of winging it. Okay, we'll go ahead with another layer of the marinara sauce. And there we go. That looks really good. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some more noodles. Yeah, let's put some more noodles. And then for the second layer, am I putting more noodles or am I putting the meat stuff? I should put the meat stuff. Now let's do that. I'm going to put the beefless beef crumbles. I don't know, I'm getting a little mixed up, people. Okay, let's put these in. Oh yeah, this looks good. It looks pretty darn good. So we'll just go ahead and put a layer of that. I might be messing this up a little bit, but I think for the most part I'm doing okay. What I wanted to do was put one layer of this and then one layer of the mushrooms without running out of noodles. And I kind of failed math, so I think that this is good. Okay, so we've got the beefless crumbles on there. Let's throw another layer of the noodles on. I mean, hey, it's lasagna, right? We're allowed to mess it up a little bit, right? On the layering part. Anyways, okay. One more. And then I'm gonna go ahead with this. Yeah, let's put this. Let's put the ricotta on again. Sorry, people. Okay, we're gonna put another layer of ricotta. The tofu ricotta. It's gonna be a really big lasagna, I think. So I hope somebody comes over and helps me eat it because I will be eating this for a week. Or I could freeze it, I suppose. Okay, so we're gonna spread that out. Oh, I think this is gonna be perfect, actually, the perfect amount of this. mixture. And then I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to put a little bit more of the white sauce on this layer, and then I'm going to put the mushrooms. So you'll have to excuse my hands. I know I should have, like I said, I should have got a spatula or something, but you know, it's part of the fun, right? So there we go. Oh, another layer. I'm going to put some more white sauce. I think I made way too much white sauce, but that's okay. And this is also good just to have on pasta. So, you know, you can always just boil up some pasta and put some white sauce on it as well. So there's another layer of that. Now where are my delicious mushrooms? Oh my gosh, these are like my favorite thing in the world is the portobello mushrooms. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a layer of the portobello mushrooms. Oh my gosh, those smell so yummy and good. Love, love, love. And I'll just show you what that looks like so far. It's getting heavy. I'm gonna put a bit more marinara. And then I'm going to put another layer of noodles. Now, I'm gonna preheat my oven for 375. And I think I'm gonna let it cook for about 45 minutes. That should do it, but we'll give it a little peek in between and see how it's doing. Okay, and one more layer of noodles on top. Oh, good thing I cooked all these noodles. And then I'm gonna top it off with a little bit more marinara and a little bit more of the white sauce just on top. And then, oh, I didn't even break a noodle. That's pretty good. Okay. And then we're going to pop it in the oven once I preheat that stove. Okay, we'll just get this ready. And I'm excited because I think that this looks really, really good. It's going to be filling, that's for sure. It's huge. So we're just going to drizzle a little bit more of the white sauce on top. And I think we are pretty much good to go. Okay, I'm going to show you what this looks like. It looks gigantic. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the oven at 375 for 45 minutes, and we'll be back to see how it's doing. Okay, so I just took it out of the oven and I actually put it under the broiler for a couple minutes too, just to get it nice and bubbly on the top. So let's try it out. Okay, so I think that this looks absolutely delicious. I'm super excited to give it a try. Okay, I'm gonna try it right now, right in front of you all, and let's see how it is. You guys, this is so good. I'm so pleased for my very first vegan lasagna attempt. So even if you're not vegan, I guarantee you are going to love this dish. So I hope you enjoy this recipe and have yourselves an awesome day. Mwah! Hey guys, so I'm going to make one of my absolute favorite comfort foods. Now this is something that everybody loves, is good old mac and cheese. But how do you make mac and cheese vegan without the cheese? We are going to be using a butternut squash. What? Yeah, that's right, butternut squash, people. Because you know what, I've tried a few other vegan mac and cheese recipes and they weren't my absolute favorite, but this one is actually really good. It's fairly easy to make. I'm gonna be doing kind of the harder version, but there is an easier version. Because the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to chop up my butternut squash and I'm gonna roast it. Now you can buy canned butternut squash or even the butternut squash that's already cut up, and that will make it easier, but I'm gonna go with the good old-fashioned roasting it right now. Okay, so I've chopped up my butternut squash. Now, like I said, this step is a little bit time-consuming, so, I mean, if you are pressed for time and you want a simpler way, buy the already chopped up, which is one great option, or get the canned, and then hey, you're good to go. So I'm just gonna spread them out on the pan, and I'm going to add some olive oil, and that's probably lots, and some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. And then I'm just gonna mix it up with my hands and get it all coated. You could also put it in, like, I guess, a casserole dish, but I'm just gonna use this baking sheet for now. And I'm gonna pop it in the oven, like I said, for 40 minutes. And I'm gonna, in the meantime, get my sauce ready. Let's get that done. Okay, so now on to the creamy faux cheese mac and cheese sauce. This is where you're gonna think I'm a little bit cuckoo, but if you don't already, but I'm telling you, it's gonna work. So we're gonna use 3/4 cup of non-dairy milk. Now I'm using cashew milk because it's gluten-free and all that kind of thing, but I mean, you can use any type of soy milk, almond milk, whatever you like. Just make sure that you get the unsweetened, like don't get the vanilla because it's not gonna be good. So we're gonna put that in. I guess I should turn the oven or the stove on. I'm gonna put 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Now, like I said before, you can get this at any health food store. It's what gives it that cheesy flavor, so it's very important. I'm gonna use a tablespoon, it's a little bit bigger than a tablespoon, of some vegan butter. I'm gonna just throw in a little bit of salt and pepper, and I might have that on too high. I'm gonna put in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to kind of thicken it up a little bit. You can also use flour if you don't have cornstarch. I'm gonna just start stirring that a bit. And then I'm going to use, maybe I'll say like a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Now, you can also use a little bit of Dijon mustard or something in it if you like that. Oh, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of lemon juice too. Back to the mustard part. I despise mustard. I'm sorry, people. I know lots of people love mustard. I just hate mustard, so I'm not putting any in there. But if you like mustard, feel free to put some mustard in there. So we're gonna stir this all together. We still have about 25 minutes or so to go on the squash. So once this is all good and the squash is cooked, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in a blender and blend it all together, and then we're gonna mix it in with our pasta, which we are going to make momentarily. So, yeah, we'll just take a little break now. Maybe I'll go have a coffee. Okay, be back in a few. Okay, this squash is seriously the bomb. It smells so good and it's only halfway done. I mean, this is what makes this dish delicious. So I'm just gonna give it a little flip right now and continue on. So my squash is almost done. My sauce is done. So I'm gonna go ahead with the pasta. Now I've boiled some water here. It's kind of going nuts. I'm gonna just use like a cup of elbow macaroni. Now you can use gluten-free pasta, you can use whole wheat pasta, whichever you prefer. I'm just going with traditional today. So we are gonna cook up the pasta, and like I said, everything else is almost ready. So pretty soon, guys. I know this recipe sounds crazy, but trust me, it's gonna be good. So the squash is done. I only roasted it for half an hour because honestly, it's soft and mushy right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to I'm gonna let it cool for like a second. I'm gonna pack down 1 cup of the butternut squash, and I'm gonna put it in my blender with my sauce that I made previously. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take this cheese sauce and I'm going to put it into my blender, and then I'm going to add the squash. Okay, so I was reading another recipe in my meantime while I was roasting my squash, and another really easy way to do it instead of the way that I did it by peeling it and chopping it all up was you could just cut it in half, take the seeds out, put it face down with some olive oil, and then roast it like that, and then you could scoop it out. Yeah, that would have been another way, but I wanted to take the hard way, I guess. That's just you know, what I decided to do. But like I said, I think the easiest way would just be buy a can of the squash and then you're good to go, right? So we are gonna blend this on high. High? Yeah. We're gonna blend it on high until it's nice and smooth. I want to look at it. Okay. Oh, you know what? It looks good. There's like one chunk of squash in there that's not mixing up and it's making me really mad. But other than that, we're doing good. So the pasta's almost done. I'm just gonna wait for it to finish cooking till it's al dente. And then I'm going to rinse it off in a colander, put it back on the stove in a pot, and I'm gonna mix the cheese sauce in, and we are gonna be ready to rock and roll with our vegan mac and cheese. Seriously, why wouldn't this one little chunk blend? I don't understand. But you know what? That butternut squash is so good. I could have just ate a pan of that. It's delish. Okay, we're almost ready. Woo! Okay, so I just drained my pasta and I am putting it back into this bowl, or pot, sorry. And then I'm going to add the mixture, this cheesy, delicious goodness. Oh my God, you guys. I am telling you, I gotta show you this because you're not even gonna believe how good it looks. Like, I don't even think you're gonna believe it. Okay, that's as good as that's gonna get. Hang on, I need to show you this. Does that not look delicious? Like, I mean, seriously, you cannot tell me that that is not delicious mac and cheese. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this up and I'm going to make myself a big plate. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's some vegan mac and cheese that everyone's gonna love. And like I said, if you want to do it a lot quicker, just use a can of butternut squash, or else you can even use pumpkin puree. I've done that in a lot of pasta recipes and it's really good too. Now, if this wasn't for kids, you know, and I'm not that I have any kids that are coming over tonight or anything, but if I was making this for just myself, I would put like some broccoli in there. I would probably put like the rest of the chunks of the squash in there, maybe some kale, some spinach. Like, I'd you know, primp it up a little bit. But I mean, if you want to give it to your kids, they're probably not going to want those vegetables in there. They're probably going to be like, yo, Ma, what are you doing? So you could just make it just like this. Now, this is steaming hot, but I literally have to have some. Seriously, you guys. I would not lie to you. This is the best so far that I've tried vegan mac and cheese. Now, there is another version I just want to tell you. And I don't know if any of you saw me make it before with the carrot and the potato and the onion. I wasn't a fan. I talked to a lady today at the gym and she said she loves it and her family loves it and she uses it for con queso dip and stuff. I think I gotta try it again. But this one, hands down, the bomb vegan mac and cheese. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope you try it out for your family and let me know if your kids like it because I seriously love it, okay? And I love mac and cheese, so this does it for me. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic night and try the mac and cheese. Mwah! Now, how about some dessert? You know it, you love it. It's my vegan nice cream, my non-dairy ice cream. Let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna need, the same as the last recipe, is 3 ripe bananas. And the riper the better because it'll bring out the natural sweetness of the banana and then you don't have to use any sugar. So I've chopped up 3 very ripe bananas and I put them in my freezer overnight. Now you don't have to put them overnight. You can put them for an hour, just as long as they're frozen, you're good to go. So I'm just gonna dump these in the food processor. And then I'm going to put in just a 1/4 cup of almond milk. You don't have to do this step, but I just like it to be like a little extra creamier, you know. And then I'm just gonna put in a dash, I think that's a dash, of vanilla extract. And we are gonna blend this up. I'm getting so much better at using my food processor. I think I am. Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh, that looks good already. Okay, so you just want to blend it till it is nice and creamy. I'm going to show you, and I'm even going to take the blade out this time because sometimes I leave it in, you know, just for fun. Look how good that looks. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do to make it a little bit more fun. I need a spoon of some sort. And maybe, okay, well, we'll just use the spoon for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take like a baking pan, a little loaf pan, and I'm gonna put some of this creamy goodness down in the loaf pan, like one layer. So probably like say about half of what we have here, right? And I'm just gonna spread it on the bottom, just like so. And then, now this is the part where you can get creative and you can put anything on that you want. But I had these pecans because I think I was gonna bake something and then I didn't. So I'm gonna put some of those, sprinkle a layer of those, and some, oh Milo, don't eat that. And then some of these cacao chips. They're like a natural chocolate chip, vegan chocolate chip. Really good. Oh my gosh, right now I just want to eat this. This looks so good. So I'm just going to show you what one little layer looks like. Looking good, people. Then we are going to take the rest of the ice cream mixture and put another layer on top. Get it all out. And I probably should be spreading it with something better than a spoon, but you know, if you could see my kitchen right now, it's an absolute disaster because I just made brownies and it was a crazy afternoon. I'm not a baker by any means. I'm really not good at baking. So I like to try it from time to time just to see if I can whip something up that everybody else seems to know how to make. So the brownies were really good. Okay, so then what we are gonna do is, how nice that looks. Then we're gonna take some more and we are gonna put it on top. I'm putting lots because I had lots of these nuts. So don't know what I was gonna bake with them, but oh well. And I'm gonna put the chips back on the top. So we have 2 layers now. Look how good that looks. Like, oh my goodness, okay? So we're gonna just pop this in the freezer for about an hour or so, and then it'll be ready to eat. Be back in a minute.